Hello one and all, Mickey here, and if like me you have been left homeless since the Alpha 16 patch for 7 Days to Die, then maybe you'll find this quick tutorial interesting. How to bring back the hub city into Alpha 16. So yeah, fun pimps in all their wisdom decided to remove the hub city from Alpha 16, and it's my favourite place to live really. It's fun, challenging, and an end game for most, but it has been completely removed from Alpha 16, really bugged out by it, and it took me a long time to work out some methods of trying to reintroduce it into the game. So before we begin, let's define what the hub city is, or capital city, or central city, whatever you want to call it. It is a city, duh, well done, but specifically not a town, a city, that's near enough at the centre of the map, and it sits on top of a wasteland biome, so tougher enemies spawn there. So, point 1, city near the centre of the map. Point 2, sits on a wasteland biome, so the enemies there are tougher. Now, full disclosure, I haven't found a way to edit in point A. I haven't found a way to add a city to a specific point in the map, but I have found ways to clear terrain to make it so that cities can be bigger and make them more likely appear near the centre of the map. Point 2 is adding a wasteland biome into that same location near the centre of the map. That I can do, and we'll get to that in a second. In this tutorial as well, I will go through a bunch of other edits I have found, like adding more zombies to particular biomes, adding more dangerous zombies at night, or just generally increasing the number of zombies at any given time. So on the screen are the edits that we'll be going through, but first you need to know which file to edit. So go to your 7 Days to Die folder, wherever Steam happened to install it. Mine is on my E drive, my flash drive. Go into the folder, then to data, and then to config, and the file you'll be looking for is rwgmixer. This generates a randomly generated world. So, before we begin, make a backup of this file, because the last thing you want to do is edit something and not remember what the default values are, and then you're left in this awkward situation where you can't really change things back to the way they were, like me. That's unfortunate. But regardless, just make a backup of the file. Absolutely worst comes to worst, you can go into Steam, right click on 7 Days to Die, Properties, Local Files, and Verify Integrity of Game Cache, which you can't read the entire title of just because I've got my text so large because I'm partially sighted. But that's what you do. It will go through your files and make sure that everything is as it should be after a clean install. It will find that you've made edits to a file, delete the file, reinstall it, and then you're safe. So load up the file with a text editor, ideally with Notepad++. Guys, it is free, go download it, it is really good. But either way, you can also load it up with something just like Notepad. So you've got the file open. First thing we're going to do is add a wasteland biome into the centre of the map. And the line that you're going to be looking for is biome spawn rule name wasteland. All of these steps will be in the description below, so you can copy and paste the text from there. So grab that first line, do a search for it in the file, and there it is. And it looks like the game has been patched recently because it has removed my edits. Thanks game, brilliant. Yep, the game was definitely patched recently. Don't know what it's patched to, but my edits have been undone. So yeah guys, that is something you're going to have to be aware of, that when the game gets patched, all of your edits will be undone. So what you should do is make a little note of what you edit, like I have here, and then anytime you find that the game has been patched, go back in and then add whatever you've edited, whatever changes you've made, back into the file. I wouldn't recommend making a backup of the file after you've edited it, because if you then apply that onto the game that's been patched, it may be undoing changes that have been added in the patch. So long story short, we're going to be editing this game together. Starting with the wasteland biome line, grab it, press enter to add a line, and paste it in. So what this line does is tell the map generator from the centre of the map, from point 0 all the way out in a radius of 750, that will be wasteland biome. So any map that is made with a seed, it will have a wasteland biome of 750 units across, which is pretty big, I'll tell you that much. Of course, you can edit it however you want. You can lower it down to 300 or something like that. I've got it set so high so it increases the chances that there will be a city in the middle of the map. Or if you want, you can increase the size even more and have basically half of the map, a massive chunk in the centre of the map, be wasteland biome. I wouldn't recommend having the entire map be wasteland biome because I don't think that clay can spawn in a wasteland biome, and there might be other resources that are integral to, you know, leveling up your base, if you want to call it that you just can't get in a wasteland biome. But you know, it's worth a challenge maybe. Other than that, the line above, in case you want to know, in case you want to change it, this is the percentage that the wasteland biome will appear on a randomly generated map. From 0 to 1, the decimal point numbers indicate what percent it will be. So 0.7 to 0.8 is 10% of 0 to 1. So the wasteland biome, not including what we added, will cover 10% of a randomly generated map. Plains, for example, is 0.8 to 1, so the plains biome will cover 20% of a randomly generated map. Just a word of warning though, when you edit these decimal points, make sure they all line up. So say for example you want to make Wasteland Biome appear more frequently and you want to add it to 20%, you need to lower the percent from another biome. So let's say we'll make it 0.7 to 0.9, you need to lower the Plains Biome to 10%, so it's 0.9 to 1. Now you can see Wasteland Biome has a 20% chance of appearing and the Plains Biome has a 10% chance. Make sure you keep those all level. I don't know what will happen if you don't. I've made edits to the game where the game just won't finish loading, like not even into the main menu, much less actually generate the map. So be careful what you do here, and as I said, make sure you keep it back up. Let's just put these back. Thank you, game. Believe me, you will have more than enough Wasteland Biome to play with. 0.7 to 0.8, 0.8 to 1. Okay, so guys, if you're being particularly lazy, you can just finish here if you want to. This is one half of what's necessary to have a hub city in the center of the map, is that it sits on a Wasteland Biome. The other edits, if you want to continue watching, are how to clear away more room for more cities, so that cities have the potential to be bigger, and also change how many and what zombies appear in what biomes at what times. So for those of you that don't want to make more edits, feel free to go into the game at this point. And also, we might want to save it. Yeah, just save it. Thank you very much, game. And then just generate a map and see what comes up. As you can see, Wasteland Biome. So this is the seed that I'm using, No Hub City 63. This is the seed that I'm using in my campaign, and it already has a city in the center of the map. Of course, this is the problem now with Alpha 16. You do need to find a seed that has a city in the center of the map so that it sits on the Wasteland Biome and basically acts like the Hub City did in the previous alphas. So, as an example, load up another map. This one doesn't have a city anywhere near the center of the map, and not to mention, half of the Wasteland Biome is covered by water. Yeah, there are a few rules when it comes to which biomes should go where. Water is overriding to other biomes. If it's low enough underneath sea level, then it will override other biomes, as you imagine water tends to do. And here we go. No Hub City 65. It's not ideal, but as you can see, there is a city, and the majority of it sits on top of the Wasteland Biome. It's not dead center, but it does give you an idea of the kind of thing that you need to do to make a hub city in Alpha 16. The Wasteland Biome here is permanent. You just need to find a seed that has a city that sits on top of it. Now, for the rest of you guys that want to continue and see what edits that I make to the game, including making there be more room for the cities themselves, let's get back to that. And yes, I did just make a backup of the rwgmixer file, just so I know what the default values are. So yeah, the next edit I make is to biome spawn rule name water. So let's find it, do a search, and there it is. It was just a little bit further down here. So the rule for water is any terrain below the altitude of 0 is turned into water. What I do is slightly decrease how far terrain can go before water gets added. So instead of it being -1, I turn it into -10 so that there is less water on the terrain and more of the terrain can be other biomes and more objects like cities can be placed on that terrain. I wouldn't recommend any lower than that because a lot of the times the terrain underneath water can appear a little bit glitchy. Sometimes roads don't get generated particularly well and they can just look a little bit off. At least that's been my experience of the game. Nothing particularly game breaking, but a lot of times you'll find like a really flat dead end road reaching out across a lake, perfectly flat, and it just stops in the middle of nowhere. But as I said, it's not game breaking and it does allow there to be more room for the cities. So that's another edit I make. Next up, we're going to go to the line terrain generators. So do a search for it, and there it is. And the line that you're looking for in particular is this one. Again, it'll be in the description below, and there we go. That's a little bit better. So this is the value that you're looking for down here. Now, this is up to you whether you want to change it. I don't bother changing it anymore, and I'll explain why. Because when Alpha 16 was originally released, when it was Alpha 16.0, this value was at 250. And what this value does is increase the height of the mountains. Obviously, the taller the mountains are, the more room they take up because they're only generated so steeply, and by decreasing the altitude of the mountains, you have more terrain to work with when it comes to cities and towns and things like that. So as I said, in Alpha 16.0, it was 250. I lowered it to 200, and then in one of the later alphas like 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.3, they lowered it down to 182. I don't bother lowering it any more than that. If you want to, say, lower it down to 150, then by all means go ahead. This will give more room for cities, but the terrain may appear a little bit flatter than you're used to. It might look a little bit boring, but it's up to you. If your focus is on towns and cities, then I would go for it. As it stands, as it was changed to 182, I'm happy with it. So that's just something for you guys to be aware of. Next and lastly, for the rwgmixer, the rules that the randomly generated map uses is city small and city large. So do a search for them, and here they are, city small and city large. This will increase the potential size that the city can be. Now, a couple of words of warning though. Firstly, don't increase the size of town large and town small. You can of course do that if you want, but then you're going to end up with really big towns and they won't look like cities do, and all they're going to be doing is sucking up performance from the game. So I would recommend keeping the town small and town large at their default values, unless what you do actually want is to have towns be as big as cities or just be bigger in general. But as I said, be aware that since they've increased the draw distance of buildings in the game, having both towns, large and small, both be bigger, it'll make your performance in the game drop considerably as it's loading in buildings on the outskirts of your view. So just focus on city small and city large, and what I would recommend is you set them both to be the same size. Small city and large city, as far as I'm aware, they don't have any buildings that are unique to one or the other. It's just they're made to be different sizes. If you want them to be the same size and increase the likelihood of a city, a large city, being in the center of the map, it doesn't make any difference what the game classifies it as. Small or large, if they both have the potential to be the same size, it makes no difference. So what I would say, just to keep performance drops to a minimum, is have both the width and height value of both small and large city to 1000 by 2000. Don't use value 2000 to 3000 because one, it'll be rare that there'll be enough room in the terrain to actually have a city that big, and two, if there was, your performance is just going to plummet. So 1000 2000 is good enough. So let's set the values for both city small and city large, and both width and height to 1000, 2000. And there you go, 1000 to 2000 for both width, height, and for both city small and city large. Then save the file, and that is all the edits that we are going to make to rwgmixer. If that is good enough for you, then by all means load up the game and see if you can get a good seed to have a decent sized city on the middle of the map that sits on top of the Wasteland Biome. Or if you'd like to go a bit deeper, then just keep following me down the rabbit hole. Go back to the 7 Days to Die folder in data and then config, and the file you're looking for is spawning. Again, like with the rwgmixer file, make a backup of this file before you edit it. And like with the other file, open it up, ideally with something like Notepad++. And of course, because the game was patched, all of my edits again have been lost. Thanks game. So the edits that I do here are categorized kind of into two. One of them is adding more dangerous zombies at night to every single biome in the game, specifically irradiated zombies, and specifically 3 of them will spawn at a time at night, regardless of where you are in the world. So fun times. And lastly, I add only to the Wasteland Biome an extra line saying that 3 more zombies of any type can spawn in the Wasteland Biome, just making it so that there are a few more zombies just there, and they can be any type of zombie, just to make that Wasteland Biome a little bit more dangerous. So I've set up the view to have the new file on the left hand side. This is the one that was updated in the patch recently, God knows what it updated. On the right is the file that I saved as a backup of all the edits that I made, and as you can see, each one of these lines in each one of these biomes represents how many zombies of a particular group can spawn at any given time of day. So let's scroll down to here we go, forest biome. So at any time of day there can be 2 of any kind of zombie, any being kind of, you know, more generic kind of zombie. Underneath that, again, any time of day, 1 enemy animal forest can spawn, those being things like wolves and boar and things like that. And underneath that there is 1, again, any time of day, and friendly animal forest. That's basically how these lines work. Choose how many zombies you want to spawn at once. The delay I just set to whatever's kind of the default for that zone. The time, which can be any day or night, and then the group of zombies, which just scroll down the biomes and see what is available to you. So first we're going to add the irradiated zombies at night in any biome, and they're going to be 3 at once. I don't know why on the right hand side it says in every single biome there would only be a max count of 1. That is definitely not the case. I distinctly remember setting it to 3, and I also distinctly remember it actually working and 3 spawning at any given time. So that's fine, we'll just set it to 3 when we move it over. And the entity group name is Zombie Feral Irradiated Group. Again, all this will be in the description below, so I'm going to grab this line and then copy it into the first biome, which is biome name city. Now, I have to admit, the first 3 of these biomes I don't think are actually in use anymore. City, City Wasteland, and Wasteland Hub, I don't think they're actually used anymore. I think that's what was used in the previous alphas when there was actually a hub city, but I'm going to add it here anyway just to keep it consistent. So pasted, let's set it to 3, and done. Then copy that line and then add it to all the other biomes. And at this point, to save on confusion, because I don't really care what it's saying that the other file had, I know what I'm going to add into this file. I'm going to remove the file that's being compared to. There we go. So now it's not telling me what things are different. I don't care. I know what I'm going to add. So biome city wasteland, which isn't really in use anymore, but I'm going to add it anyway. Max count 3, respawn delay 1, time night, and entity group zombie feral irradiated. And in fact, let me add that underneath night, just so it's a little bit neater. And there we go. Now it's underneath night, even though they had it as day, any, night, any. Whatever, fun pimps. Now let's add these to the other biomes. Wasteland hub, again, I don't think it's in use. Forest, pine forest, plains, desert, wasteland, which we'll be coming back to in a second, burnt forest, and snow. So that is 3 irradiated zombies added at night to all the biomes in the game. The last change I want to do is in the wasteland biome. I'm going to grab this line that says max count 2, time day, and zombie type zombies all. And what I'm going to do, add it again underneath, change the max count to 3, change the time of day to any, and this will make it so that at any time of day there will be 3 zombies picked out from the group zombies all, so that the wasteland biome has 3 more zombies all the time. And those are all the edits I make to the game. Adding a wasteland biome to the centre of the map, decreasing the height of the water, showing you guys how to decrease the height of the mountains, which I didn't actually do myself, increasing the size of small city and large city, then adding 3 irradiated zombies to all the biomes in the game, and then adding 3 more of the generic type of zombies to the wasteland biome at any time of day. So those are all the edits. Let's see how it goes. So let's find a good hub city, keep counting up, and also set the size down to 0. If you guys haven't watched the first episode of Series 4, I'll quickly go through with you what the size means. Default is 1, so if you generate it, the game will load the center tile and then 1 out from that center tile. So if you typed in 2, it will load the center tile and 2 out from the center tile. Now obviously the more tiles you're loading around the center tile, the longer this process would take, so I would highly recommend you select 0, so that when you're looking for a good seed that has a decent sized hub city, ideally in the center of the wasteland biome that we've added, it is a much quicker process. So let's just skim through the numbers and see what comes up. So this is No Hub City 65, I think we went through this at the beginning of the tutorial, and the city was only, say, about 2/3 the size of this, came up to about the halfway point of the Wasteland Biome. But you know what guys, not good enough. I want it close to the centre, that's too much of the city outside of the Wasteland Biome. So let's keep looking. And, well, I mean, this is something. It's primarily a wasteland biome. There's a bit of green here and a bit of water going through it. And it's a decent size. Not a brilliant size, but a decent size. You know what? It will do. This is apparently Nako. Good enough. No Hub City 71. To be honest, this may be a city that was simply restricted by the fact that there's water going around it. That water, of course, has been lowered slightly, allowing the city to be a tiny bit bigger than if the water hadn't been lowered. But you know what? That will do. No Hub City 71. We will load it up. And here we are in game. So which way is the city? So kind of about here, which is quite a walk. So I think we should get started. Be right back. So here we are at the edge of the Wasteland Biome, and that is the city way off in the distance. You'll have to excuse the atrocious pop-up for both the trees and the level of detail like the grass and stuff. I have been testing performance because, yeah, I should probably mention this at the beginning of the video, which I'm sure future Mickey will add it as some sort of overlay, writing text or whatever, that adding more buildings to the game, as in like you would do if you made it a city bigger, does cause more of a performance problem. The more buildings there are, the more stutter there is going to be as the game loads them in. So do that at your own risk. I'm sure future me would have landmine, of course, Wasteland Biome. I'm sure future me would have added it as like a text when I'm talking about making the cities bigger. But yeah, so it really depends. You know, you need to do a bit of testing to make sure that making the cities bigger doesn't cause the game to lag too much. Right now the game seems to be fine, which is good news. We'll see as I get closer. But yeah, let's fast forward. Hopefully a dog doesn't catch me in the meantime, and we'll get to our new hub city. So that's a dog. And he sees me. I think he sees me. Yeah, not you. I don't care about you. Oh my god, what is wrong with you? Why are you teleporting so much? Oh, that's really weird. That zombie's... Oh my god, there's another dog! Oh. Oh, I can't do this. He's right in the middle of the road. No. No, no. No. Dog. Dog, dog, dog. Don't do it, dog. Good dog. Good dog. You know what? I'm just going to jump in the water. I'll swim across at this point. Don't do it, dog. Do not do it, dog. No, he's good. So, this is our new hub city. Let's head through the residential district and see if we can get to the taller commercial district. And here we are. Close enough to the centre of our new hub city. So yeah, it is still a little bit convoluted about how you add a hub city into the game that sits on a wasteland biome. But honestly, at least there is a way. It drove me crazy that they'd removed it from the game. And I hope this guide helps you guys if you love the hub city as much as I do. And I hope more that FunPimps realises they've made such a terrible mistake in removing the hub city. As far as I'm aware, they removed it because it's a place people went to for higher tiered loot. But as I said at the start of the video, it's also the place people went to for a greater challenge or for endgame. So they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot by removing the hub city. But either way, hopefully this will tide you guys over, as it has for me, until they come to their senses and reintroduce it. I can't believe I haven't come across any dogs, he says, and then heard a dog. No, not you. I don't care about you. And nighttime, finally. Finally. I've been waiting all this time, got to a safe spot. Let's check out those irradiated zombies. And I can... Wow, okay. Just right there, eh? That's 4. That's 5. Game, do you want to... Whoa, what's that? Oh, it's a vulture, okay. Thought someone was just floating across the map. So, okay, no, that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6. Okay, yes, so there's more than 3. There is definitely more than 3. I don't really know what's going on. You guys did see that I set it to 3. But honestly, I don't really care that there's more. The way I see it, at night, you need to be off ground level. You need to be away from the zombies. I don't really like how the later in tech you go, the more armor you get, the more powerful your weapon gets, the more perks you get, the less danger the zombies are. Vulture, do you mind? It gets to a point where you're so high tier, it doesn't matter that you're out at night. You just end up being out at night regardless, landmine, and you kill whatever's in your path anyway. So, yeah, that's quite a few irradiated, even though I said 3. So, let's go and greet them. Is that an irradiated white? No, it's a cop. There's a cop, right? Yeah, you're a big man cop. Don't care about you. How did they not notice me? How did you not notice me? You're a runner, come on. There we go. You're... Is it that dark you can't see me? Excuse me. There we go. I'm stunned. The awareness of these zombies is so low. I mean, I get it's dark. I do. That's a cop. There you go. That's a white. I want to keep my stamina for this moment when you see me. Hello. Dude, come on. What is happening? Ah, 7 days to die. I'm just gonna... Hold on. I'm gonna smack you to... Oh, God, he's seen me! Oh, God, yep. It was just dark, and you couldn't see me because it was dark. Yep, I'm gonna die. He's gonna one-shot me and I'm gonna die! Okay, well, yeah, guys, this is the Hub City at night. Although it doesn't really matter that it's Hub City, this would apply to any place that you're in. Really? You zombies. Come on. You're embarrassing yourself now. You're being silly. Come on. No? Well, anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this helped you guys. Come blow it up. Good shot. Do it again. Oh, he's climbing. Okay, didn't work again. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Yep, I'm gonna stand there. Okay, cool. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this helped you guys. Boom. Thought that happened. Hey, brilliant. I hope this helps you guys, at least until Funpence sorts out this failing in their point. I mean, how can they remove the hub city? Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me else know if they enjoy it as well. And I will see you guys for another video. The series of 7 Days to Die, the City Slicker Challenge, is in full swing. We are on day 7, 8, not sure. It's going well. Hope you guys see that. And yeah, as I said, I will see you in another video. Bye-bye. Man, what was wrong with that zombie? Seriously. Are they that blind at night? Yeah, you keep jumping there, cop. Oh, God! Yep! I had a feeling he was going to hit the car. Shh. The moment the stealth indicator dropped, I had a feeling he was... Oh, my crap!